My role is mostly the behind-the-scenes logistics person. There's a lot that goes into collaborating with other groups, coordinating our orchestra, getting the music for our repertoire. Also on top of that, we were also publicizing our event. So we designed our posters, things like that. So just a lot of logistical things. I guess the best way to go into it is to have the right mindset. Right. Really, you have to be a flexible individual and be able to think on your feet.
The biggest challenge with this particular concert was definitely music selection, because there's just so many factors that go into deciding what pieces we're going to play. You know, we have to do something that's going to work with the busy schedules of Eastman students, something that we're going to be able to prepare and have ready at a level that, you know, meets the standards of us and our school. Right. And then we have to also pick music that is going to coordinate well with dancers. Right. And, you know, since we're a very outreach-based group, it's also really important to us that we pick music that's going to be emotionally accessible from our standpoint of our audience members. You know, with some thoughtful improvisation and just artistic leadership from all of the performers. Right. You know, we were able to put together a show, and I think that's one of the defining characteristics of an artist is, you know, when it's showtime and when the audience is there, you know, you just have to put your best foot forward.
Right. Kind of explain to people what the layout of your piece was. Yeah.
Okay, so rather than giving the audience like a simple part to play or having them, you know, clap when they were pointed to or something, what I thought what might be interesting would be to have them determine when things actually happen in the music. And so how they did that was just by clapping. So it was explained to the audience before the piece started that if anyone wanted to have the next thing happen, all they had to do was clap once. Right. And so in the beginning of the piece, there are about 8 events that need to happen. And then the conductor starts conducting, and then the audience is passive again. Then at the end of the piece, they help close out the piece too. Right. In the same manner.
It's really exciting to work with a whole huge group of musicians, but at the same time, I was a little nervous about how, you know, 8 dancers or 6 dancers or 2 dancers could, you know, have any kind of equality with, you know, 50 musicians. One of the dances that I chose to do was very kind of tightly choreographed and also sort of had its own narrative in a sense, and it was something that I trusted, you know, as a sort of solid piece of choreography. So the other piece, for the last piece, Sibelius, originally I had planned to do a structured improvisation, but when I heard the music, and the music was so kind of epic and big, I knew that I could not have us just improvising for 10 minutes to that. It would be a disaster. So, I made a phrase that I felt like was very strong and direct and bound and large, and I used that simple phrase because I didn't have a lot of time, so I used that simple phrase. What ended up happening is I ended up choreographing the whole piece with improvisational elements. Right. And I think in the end it worked. Yeah.